I'm going to title this one, Did You Ever Know Yourself? I'm sitting here contemplating my identity. Because one thing we are finding out is that the reason things don't happen in our life, or are, let's just say, are happening in our lives that we don't particularly like or would like to change, is due to the fact that is due to our identity and how we actually show up in the world, and what we believe about ourselves, and who we are. And so I'm contemplating, dealing with my identity. Now, when we talk about manifestation, we always talk about it in the materialistic way, in the sense of, a new house, a new car, a job, or another person. But I venture to say that manifestation is just a effect of the true change that happens in who we are. In other words, we prosper, we manifest those things as our soul prospers, right? We prosper as our soul prospers. So upon us coming into ourselves and changing from within, it automatically provides a external outlook. So I say that we must move away from the materialistic manifestation message that has been put out there and go within to identify who we are, what we've been telling ourselves about ourselves. What do we call ourselves? If you look at yourself right now, who do you think you are? What do you perceive yourself? What is your identity? I think we need to consider, what do we believe about ourselves in different situations. For example, I'm sitting here and I am contemplating, who am I? What do I believe about myself? I realized that I have been running a spiral. I've been spiraling a thought process about me that has caused me, one, not to look the way that I've want to look, do, and be who I want to be and have. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, one, we must talk about how we as women reflect our mothers. What we perceive of our mother is also what we perceive of ourselves. That's the mirror principle. And if you identify your mother as a certain way, let's say passive aggressive, let's say inability to be strong internally, externally, you also take on that characteristic. It's not necessarily yours, but you've taken on that characteristic. It's a learned behavior character. So I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the fact that, hey, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. And why is it that I don't want to be seen? And the funny thing is, here's another thing that I'm perceiving. in my life, here's another mirror principle. By the way, the mirror principle is what you see on the outside is really reflecting of yourself. So, for example, I, in my life in general, in the general scheme of it all, feel a little stuck, a little trapped, a little boxed in. Like no matter what I do, I can't seem to break through. And funny thing is, when I contemplate myself, my personality, I was like, I never really feel like I've had a personality or developed a sense of self because, one, when I was younger, I I, I got into some things like acting. I did a little modeling, and so I was starting to grow into myself, understanding and self-knowledge. And when I say self, it's self-confidence is a matter of experience, right? You do things enough and you get so many wins. You start to trust yourself. You start to feel good about yourself. So when I under my belt, I don't have that many wins, or let's just say this, I have not stopped to acknowledge my wins because I have been in a spiral with the negative. So just here sitting and contemplating, I'm like, as a child, I started to grow a self-perception, a good self-perception, until I got into relationships. I got into my first relationship, I must have said I was, wow, maybe 18, and it just broke me. It broke me, and then it wasn't for maybe 10, 15 years after that I got into another relationship. And I have to say that even when I was in high school, I was in a relationship that was just so abusive. So I realize now, these kids, there's no need to be in relationships without first really grounding yourself in who you are. But anyway, I just like, I just, my soul broke in these relationships, and it caused me to feel bad about myself. It caused me to have lack of trust, abilities, just self appearance. Like maybe I'm just not good enough, and they left. And so these are the storylines that I picked. This is the trauma that I picked up from these relationships, right? This is the perception that I received from the relationship. It's completely wrong, of course. That's why we have to go back and really dissect these things and our perception and our identity and our belief systems around these things, because is what as a child you took on and you still carry throughout your life, that spirals in your life, right? So this is why we have to really sit and ask ourselves questions and ask and contemplate life in general, contemplate our identity, because without the proper identity, we will not get anywhere. We will not have anything because we don't have the identity to support it. Our nervous system has not aligned with that identity and the things we want. That's why we don't have it. And to align your nervous system is first to, who are you? Because your nervous system is who you are. And who are you? So we have to really contemplate identity and do some identity work, I would say, right? Identify you. So I have to go back now and reconstruct the belief system that that I picked up back then as a child going through these relationships, prior to me even knowing myself. So now I've been in a state of arrested delay, or arrested delay. I've been stuck in this belief system, this negative thinking, or this aspect of myself that is not true, but I have aligned with it throughout my whole life, which has caused me to have loops and different hang-ups, right? Why can't I succeed? No matter what I try to do, I can't seem to break past. I'm doing the work, but it doesn't seem to be functioning. I don't feel to be like I'm getting anywhere. I just feel like an absolute failure. I just can't get it right. This thought process is rooted in something. It is a loop going on in the mind, in the psyche, in the body. It's trauma in the body that the nervous system is not processing, right? And we have to really stop and do the work. This is the shadow work that needs to be done. This is the going back, and this is not even going back, but this is the currently asking yourself real questions like, what's going on? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel blocked and stuck in a box? I feel stuck in a box because I have not really known myself. Like, I feel like I'm this person still trying to discover myself, trying to come out of the box that I put myself in, or, that I grew up in, meaning, oh, you can't do it, or you're fat, or you're incapable, or you're just not enough, or these boxes has locked me in. Like these thought processes, whether consciously or subconsciously, has put me in a box where inside of this thought process, I'm like, I just want to get out. I want to be free. I just want to experience who I am, but I'm stuck in this illusionary perception of me, a fear to break free and to really be me, really be and become me outside of who I think I am. That's that box. So it's just like, okay, who is it that you want to be? Who is it that you really want to be? And be it, and be that person, So I'm now just going through the muck and the mire of this falsehood and trying to clean it up and come back to seeing who the me is. Who is me? When was I confident in myself? When did I really like myself? Was there ever a time that I walked and looked confident? That the me that I want to be, how I want to look, how I want to feel, I want to be. Was there ever a time that actually happened? And I have to say, yes, because if there's something that I want, like if I want to be calm and peaceful and slim again, the word again is because there was a time when I was. So yes, there was a time when I was confident in this. So let me be that person again. Be, not do. Know that I am that person. And focus on the I am, hello, of that person. And let us walk through the muck and the mire, the person that I am. Walk through that box, that falsehood of belief system that I have taken on, and walk through it and break free with the I am that I know that I am. Hello? Hello? Hey, can you hear me? Let me walk through the muck and the mire with the I am that I know that I am. I'm going to say that one more time. Let me walk through the muck and the mire with the I am that I know that I am. I lost the person the person who I want to become again. And I identified the person that I want to become because I sat still with myself and I asked myself questions, okay, to see how this pattern was been playing out in my life. So I wanted to take the time, even as I am literally going through this, to admonish you, inspire you to sit still and go within. Because there is our joy, and that is our life. And we can become and have the reality that we want when we do that. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for following. Let's be still and know.